Dr. Peterson, I'm going to start on an incidental thing. At least it's incidental to me, and it's bothered me since you became known as it is now to all the world. And that was in the very early days of the controversy that came to you when the University of Toronto sent you some minatory letters that I thought, I've used this word before, insolent, that I thought were against the spirit of a university, that they weren't supporting you, they were actually threatening you.
Yes.
And that said to me that something is beyond the particular controversy. Something deeper is wrong here, that universities, or this university is upside down. How did you reason that? How did they get there that they could be so completely unaware of their own position?
Well, I think a lot of it was confusion and a lack of experience with this sort of thing. I mean, the University of Toronto is a peaceful place and a rather conservative university, all things considered. The administration wasn't prepared to handle a controversy of the nature that swirled around me. They were used to making minor administrative decisions, and when they were put on the spot and forced to defend their fundamental presumptions, let's say, it isn't clear that they were ready and prepared to do so. Partly because of lack of practice. It isn't necessarily the case that you climb the administrative chain in a university by engaging in continual philosophical reappraisal of the fundamental presuppositions of a university as an institution. You know, it's a much more administrative job. And so, I mean, I'm going to say everything I can in favor of the University of Toronto before I say anything contrary. You know, I've found too that when I've been put on the spot by journalists and asked to defend, let's say, customs that everyone has always accepted, like marriage, it's very difficult to generate a defense for such an institution off the top of your head, let's say, because part of the whole purpose of customs is that everyone accepts them.
You don't think, they're reflex.
Well, they're unstated presuppositions, and so when you're put on the spot, you don't know what to do. When I first got the letter, the first letter, and I know how HR departments work, they send you one letter of warning so that it's documented, and then they send you another so that it's documented, and then they send you a third, and if you haven't ceased by then, well, then they go to the next step, which would be something to do with whatever approximation determination they might be able to manage.
They document you.
Yes, yes, and they're documenting all their steps. And I told the person who delivered the letter to me, who's a person I actually got along with quite well, that it was full of errors and it was poorly written and that they should take it back and write it properly, because I did.
I know, I followed it.
I know. And because if they were going to do this, they better do it right, or there was going to be trouble. And I didn't mean that I was going to cause trouble necessarily, but that there was going to be trouble. But they didn't take it back, so I read it on YouTube. So, and then I did the same thing with the second letter. And then I met the dean, and after that, and you know, we agreed, we had quite a congenial discussion, I would say, and we agreed to have a discussion, at least a debate. It never was a debate, it was, I don't know what they call those now. They can't be debates, they were forums or something like that.
Something like,
Not a debate, about free speech on campus.
That was the three, I saw that, it's awful.
Yeah, it was quite the, but they did do it, which was something, you know. And I've also heard that behind the scenes, because I have some friends some colleagues who have some access to administrative decisions, and they believe that the University of Toronto, in the aftermath of all this, has actually reconfirmed its internal commitment to free speech. So, and you know, I don't know how much of that is true, but I'm willing to give them a certain amount of benefit of the doubt. But it's important to understand that people can be caught unaware. And the other thing too is that they actually did me a bit of a favor, because one of the things I claimed in the YouTube video that I made was that what I was doing by making the video was probably illegal.
Yes, I remember.
And their lawyers basically said that it was probably illegal. And so that also helped establish my bona fides, let's say, as a reasonable interpreter of the law. And so it wasn't all bad. although it was extraordinarily stressful, that and the demonstrations that followed.